Seasons, welcome to Seasons. Oh, it's my phone now.
One and done. Remember, turn it off.
no.
Keep the song going. Seasons.
It's the show where we talk about movie seasons that we come up with and write down for you.
That's the.
That's another. We're just testing out
Trying
theme
out.
tunes right
We'll see
now.
what happens.
We've not got one yet.
Not got one yet. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
My name is Marianne MacRae.
And I am his wife, Richard Hanrahan.
Very good. Welcome to the show. If you haven't listened before, we are the father-wife couple who...
I'm not only a wife, let me just make it clear.
We both made the same check, essentially.
I'm also a mother.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
There are two boxes and I'm sticking in them.
Yeah. We're both slaves to a child.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's put it as that.
Parents.
So what we do is we like to come up with film seasons, imagining a world where we'd get to watch 2, maybe 3 films over a weekend.
That world no longer exists for us.
And never really did exist.
It would be 3 movies under the same banner / umbrella / tarpaulin, whatever you want to use to put these movies together.
Imagine, for example, you've been invited over to a friend's house for a weekend to watch some films, but instead of just like turning up and just turn on Netflix, they've sent you like a printed out invite
that says, "Dear Mr. So-and-so,
we're having a so-and-so season," where it's all about people.
It's people sewing garments.
Yeah, so-and-so.
So it'd be like the movie 9.
Okay.
That movie 9 with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
He learned how to sew for that, didn't he?
Is that right? Well, I think we've got it. What was that one? The thread film.
Oh, that is that one.
Oh, is it?
That's what I mean.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, there was 9.
Called 9.
Well.
Thread of worms. I don't know.
So the other rule is we cannot Google things during the show.
We cannot.
We've done all of our research outside of the show, but as soon as we're in here, we're focused. It's one and done, no edits.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Just because we like to enjoy. When I listen to a podcast, I like to enjoy the conversation.
All the farts and the sneezes. There won't be many of those.
No.
We'll hold them in and feel really uncomfortable the whole way through.
You're welcome.
Yes.
This week we've got 3. We usually only do 2.
But 2 of them are kind of... they branch off from one another.
Yes. So they may end
in the way that I've done it, they do anyway.
They may end up being done simultaneously. Let's introduce that one. Those. So, do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, it's movies that feature a scene from a movie.
Get that?
So it's like a character from a film watching another movie within a movie.
So just to give you an example, and I'm not sure we'll fit in, but Home Alone, he watches a film quite famously. It's a fictional film.
It's a pretend film.
It's a pretend film.
And they couldn't be pretend films. They had to be real films, I hope, Richard.
Yes. There's a couple that I've sort of stuck under, but we'll see. And then tangential to that is movies that were featured in other films.
That we should probably watch.
Yeah.
So the first list is the movie that features a movie, and the second list is the movie that is featured in a movie.
Thank you. I think that clears things up quite nicely.
There you go.
So this was...
K-pop, come on!
This was a slightly more advanced research exercise for us.
Getting really good at the old Google.
Yeah, it's amazing what your fingers can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wink. Big wink there. I'm going to go for one right off the bat, if I may, which blows this whole thing wide open.
Okay.
Be Kind Rewind.
Oh my God, that's at the top of my list.
This is where we're in love.
5.
This is like a solid one to be in the film, right?
I think it has to be.
I think this is.
I put Be Kind Rewind. I didn't even in brackets put another film. I just put loads.
Yeah. So I have got the list of all the films that were referenced.
Be Kind Rewind. If you've not seen it, it's not a spoiler to say this, right? A movie about.
Oh, the podcast is just spoilers.
Yeah,
mostly.
It pretty much is. So be prepared.
Films that end where it turns out one of them was a ghost.
Yeah, let's do that. Be Kind Rewind is about 2 guys who work in a video shop and they accidentally erase all the movies off of the videos and have to reshoot them all. It's got Jack Black and
Mos Def.
Mos Def.
And they make Swedish versions.
Yeah, so little short versions of big Hollywood movies.
And it's a lovely film.
It's fantastic.
It's a heartfelt film.
I was disappointed to see it's only got about 65% on review.
Because
it's slow to get going, I will say. I remember when I watched it and I was thinking, I thought this was going to be like more funny. But then once they get into doing the movies, it's like, this is great.
It's so heartwarming and just, it's not funny, it's not comedy. It just, you get a nice feeling that you are smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, it doesn't have any stand-up moments per se, other than kind of the things, but it's just, yeah, it's a really great film. Do
you want to mention some of the movies that it mentions?
Yeah, so I've...
The one that I can remember very clearly is Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters was the first one they do, the big one. And I think another big one they do is Rush Hour 2.
Okay, yeah.
But then the ones that I've got for my second list
from Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah. Are RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
Driving Miss Daisy and Boys in the Hood.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood is also in Shaun of the Dead? No, not Boys in the Hood. It's Bad Boys that they watch, isn't it? Something about boys.
Oh, yes. I knew they watched the film this short, but I didn't think about that.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys for life.
So what I like to do sometimes is I look at the plot synopsis on IMDb, the little tags, and sometimes comes up with nice inspirations. Be Kind Rewind. First off the bat, Michel Gondry season, the director.
Okay, sure.
I think that'll be a
what
really
else
nice
have you
season. Science of Sleep.
I feel like I've seen that.
I feel like I've seen that and I can't remember anything about it.
Same. Maybe we fell asleep.
Very good. But he was a music film director. There's others he's done that you'd recognise, but I think it would be a good season nonetheless.
Easy one to research too.
Accidental Electrocutions.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah. Because in Home Alone, it's not an accidental electrocution, is it? It's an on-purpose one.
No, that's true, yeah.
It's on purpose by Macaulay Culkin.
Then maybe it's an accident from the other guy. I don't know. We'd have to have that debate on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well.
And then this one you might like. Rhyme in the title.
Oh, I hate that actually.
Oh, really?
I mean, Be Kind Rewind, obviously, is a good example of that. There's something about puns and rhymes in titles that it's just tacky.
Oh, really?
To me, yeah, it's tacky.
Well, there's a note for that, but
No, I'm happy to do it. Okay. I'm just saying I'll feel uncomfortable about it during. I'm surprised your first one wasn't something else.
So
also known as Hitch's favourite movie of all time.
Oh, God, I didn't even look it's not even on my list at all.
What?
Not because, I forgot about it. So it's Wall-E.
Yeah.
And of course there's
Hello Dolly.
Hello Dolly is referenced all the time in that bloody film.
And it's on his telly.
It's on his telly, yeah.
I thought that would be your first one.
No, didn't even think about it.
It's my second one.
Really?
Yeah. And do you know why? It's because I respect and love you, okay?
Well, in that vein, one of the ones on my list is American Psycho.
Thank you. It's also on my list.
Yeah, because I love and respect you.
But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's a bit rough for me.
Yeah, I've put it in my other list as films we should see.
I haven't.
Because...
I've seen it.
I think Tarantino or someone said it's the perfect film.
There's a lot of blood and guts and screaming, though, isn't there?
That's true, actually. I think that's quite prominent in that film.
Yeah. Why don't you put that down as a title for a season? Blood, guts, and screaming.
Blood, guts, and screaming.
Oh, sounds like my birth journey.
Well, that could be good. Look who's talking to. Get that in there.
Let me make it clear. I am not a screamer. It was more like a, I can't do this.
I've got an audio recording of some.
Let's not.
I won't play it.
Oh my goodness me! I did not know that.
No, I think
probably just delete that.
I don't even know where it is.
At one point, I heard you just going, "Oh my god," and I think the midwife was like, "No, don't say that."
Okay. I don't remember.
That's one.
Listen, I was tired. You can't judge me on that.
Oh,
day.
sorry, you'd had a full meal and managed to keep down all your food all day.
So the reason why Become Rewind was my first was I was trying to find a way into researching it through through tags.
I mean, I just some of the searches that I came out with, it was just a convoluted way of saying film within a film.
Yeah.
It was like movies where a character sits down and watches another movie on a telly in a movie.
well, the one that interested me was Video Clerk.
Oh, no, I didn't get.
So like people that work in video stores. Because my
see.
first store was actually High Fidelity.
I thought that too.
I'm not sure there was anything.
Yeah. Not movies.
But it would have been. I'm sure they must talk about a film, maybe.
Yeah. Do you know? I've not actually put the movie on here that inspired this because I came up with this.
Yeah.
And it was movies featuring scenes where they talk about movies. The Holiday, another Jack Black movie.
Yeah.
Kate Winslet and him go to a video shop.
Right.
And they talk about loads of movies. Loads.
We can put that in if you want.
No, I just watched it. It's not that good.
Well, you know.
It's fine. It's a perfectly fine movie. I know a lot of people have a lot of love for that movie. I'm not trying to shit all over it.
So the only thing that really inspired was Clerks. I'm sure they've got a film in that really worth watching. But I think there is something. But I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't have. I've only seen that once a long time ago.
But that took me on a journey.
Okay.
Towards films about filmmaking. Auteurs.
Like Son of Rambo?
Son of Rambo is definitely on my list. But
is it?
I actually got there on the other list. But it's one of my favourite. I absolutely love that
I've
film.
not seen it.
It's so good.
I didn't put it on my list, but I did have it in mind.
So that is Rambo First Blood as on the list of films we should see.
But we're not putting that one down necessarily.
No, I was just writing out what was there.
I've got a bunch of things and I didn't go down the same path as you.
Okay.
I just thought about it.
Yeah.
And then came up with them because I'm really good at remembering.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And really good at smashing the research.
Yeah.
No, continue.
I was just going to say, the Son of Rambo one, I like it. It made me want to, I couldn't put it in this list because it would have to go into my season of friendship between boys.
Oh, that was such a cute season.
A platonic love, children platonic love season or something.
Oh, but there'd be so many movies for that.
Luca.
Yeah.
But also, it's
just beautiful little boys prancing around in a not.
I know, just like
creepy
complete
way.
Innocence.
Yeah.
But so it has to exist in that one. But I absolutely love that film.
Interesting. Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've done American Psycho already. Another quite famous one, E.T.
Really?
Doesn't E.T. watch a movie?
Oh, he probably does, yeah.
The Quiet Man is what it is because I looked it up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I've never seen The Quiet Man. And in all honesty, I would have thought it was something more like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah. But it's not that. It's The Quiet Man. And he watches it on the telly, doesn't he?
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that when he's like, E.T. phone home?
I'm sure he does.
He watches
I do not remember that film at all. And I've been on the rise.
It could be an almost Christmas movie. We could potentially force our child to
Christmas films that aren't Christmas films.
Great, yeah, absolutely. That is actually one that I would like to do. Another one that kind of branched off from that. It's kind of similar-ish. Gremlins.
Yeah. Oh.
Shows Snow White.
Does it?
Apparently. I've seen Gremlins once. Don't remember a Snow White scene.
I'd quite like to watch it.
Yeah. Now this one, I think might have to make it onto the list.
Yeah.
Zombieland.
Oh, I didn't think you'd say that.
It's a huge spoiler though, and I don't.
Well, you don't have to spoil it. You just they watch Ghostbusters in it.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert. Let's just say they're not just watching Ghostbusters. There's zombies in this bloody thing. Oh dear.
I like Zombieland. Did we watch that together?
Yeah, so I watched Zombieland 2 without you.
Yeah.
Because in one of my, I'm just going to watch a film.
He was in a rage, and he was like,
rage. I want to watch someone shoot someone. And no, I watch horror films on my own sometimes. And for about a week after we put bodies to bed and we were having our alone times, I'd watch a whole film on my own, which is quite hard to do actually these days. To sort of sit and watch a whole film.
Yeah.
It's called Double Tap, and it's really
What's the movie?
Zombieland 2.
Oh right.
And it's It's nothing. It's
Really?
I think so.
That's a real shame because I think Zombieland was a good movie. I didn't expect Zombieland to be good.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is actually quite good.
Yeah, it's quite... Yeah.
So I think that one for me should go on the list.
Oh, really? Okay.
We can discuss it at the end. Obviously, there's tons of films in this category. But
would you not sit? I suppose it's better zombie films.
It's such a moment where it's kind of like, what?
Yeah.
It just seemed like fun.
Comedy zombie films, no?
That's what I mean. I could go into our
meta zombie films.
Didn't we talk last week about movies where one of the main characters is a corpse? Oh
yeah.
Well, would that count? Would a zombie count?
I think we ended up completing that. On the podcast. Yeah. Just make sure everyone knows you can only use a film once.
Yeah, we can't. We can. There can be no crossovers, which is a shame because Sleepless in Seattle
comes up a lot.
Has An Affair to Remember in it.
Oh.
And that's a movie I've not seen, but probably should see. It feels like one of those classic movies you should see.
Yeah. Just apropos of nothing, Julie Andrews season.
Oh my god.
Because obviously you wouldn't have Sound of Music.
But there'd be just too many.
We'd have to choose 3.
I'd want them all.
You'd have to choose 3.
Speaking of musicals then, in that case, Grias, The Blob.
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I've marked it as one movies featured in movies that we should see. I've never seen The Blob. And it was one of those ones growing up. I was like, I wonder if that's a real film.
Yeah.
And then it is.
You won't believe this. What? The Blob references his own film. He's got a movie in the movie.
Yeah.
We watched it in the same list.
It's just a big jelly, isn't it, The Blob?
Yeah.
I just thought it was.
So there was.
Well, it's not scary.
There's a game we had in Mega Drive called The Ooze, and it was really hard. You didn't get past level 1 of it.
Ooze doesn't sound like it should be hard. It should be like.
Oh, sure. No, it's very soft and fluid. Yeah.
Getting real deep here. There are 2 movies that don't exist that I kind of wish did.
Yeah.
In Scream 2, there's the movie Stab.
Yeah.
That they go and see at the cinema.
Yeah.
Which is about Scream 1.
So, well, I mean, is this a series of fictional films and films?
Sure. The other one, I feel like we're throwing Jack Black a lot of love here. I really wish that the movie from The Office that
oh god, yeah.
Pam and is it Pam and Andy watch? And Jim.
Yeah.
It's like a romantic movie about Jack Black wooing an old woman.
Yeah.
And I really wish that existed.
Have you ever seen Bernie?
Don't think so.
Oh, you'd like it's
yeah.
Yeah, you should watch that.
If you're into young men shagging old women,
no,
I've seen Harold and Maude.
It's not that. It's just Jack. It's a Jack Black film, and he plays a character that feels like a serious version of that, but it's based on a real person. I think.
Interesting. Sure.
And I think
figure out a season we can watch it within, and I'll watch it.
Yeah, let's find the season. Find the season. We'll do that later.
We should also make it clear that we very rarely watch all the movies in these seasons, if ever. Have we ever watched a season?
We never watched a film, barely.
What is a film?
Yeah, we watch TV shows. We've got a lot to catch up on. We've not watched any TV this year until about a week ago.
It's true.
We just blitzing through the Stranger Things, done that.
Oh, there's a really meta bit. Blazing Saddles, they watch Blazing Saddles.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely add that to that list.
So Blazing Saddles, I think I started watching it and fell asleep. And I've never seen it properly.
Flatulence films.
Sure.
I think we've already got that season.
I think we have.
But I think it has to happen. But Blazing Saddles is great.
Yeah.
Steve Martin's season in general will be good.
Oh.
Well, on that sort of thing, the Three Amigos, they watched a film in it called The Three Amigos.
That's fake.
Yeah. I've not seen it, and I'd love to see The Three Amigos.
Yeah, don't get jealous. I don't know how I stumbled down this rabbit hole of looking. Oh, it was because. Oh, here we go. Saw a picture of Anthony Hopkins.
Sure.
In the paper.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, do you know what? For an 84-year-old man, he's quite handsome.
Right.
Like, what did he look like when he was young? Because I only know him from Hannibal, really, when he was younger. Like, oh yeah, he's quite handsome. And then it came up with a bunch of other suggested celebrities who are like,
Yeah.
who look hot now and hot then.
Yeah.
And one of the suggestions was Steve Martin. And I was like, yeah, I think I've always had a crush on Steve Martin. Don't get too jealous.
I'm seething with rage.
In the vein of Steve Martin, though, they watched The Jerk in Black Hawk Down.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is going to be a tough list.
I think so. I've got so many. And there were tons more as well.
I thought Jerk should exist in another film, another season.
Agreed.
Especially if we're trying to watch The Three Amigos and also Blazing Saddles. But I don't know what's the linking factor of those three.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. But he's got so many great films.
Yeah,
I think a Steve Martin season is worth it, though, isn't it?
I mean, do you know where my crush started on him?
Yeah.
Father of the Bride. I used to love that film.
I was going to mention the word father. I feel like there's like
I mean, he's been grey since he was about 30.
Yeah.
I think he's been like really quite.
Have you read Born Standing Up?
I haven't.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
One of about 5 books I've read. Yeah.
On the toilet or in real life?
Real life, mate.
Wowee.
Yeah.
Do you know what I noticed?
Yeah.
A lot of movies that are in movies seem to be horror films.
Yeah.
Loads of them. Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
Yeah. And The Last Temptation of Christ.
Twister.
Yeah.
They show The Shining.
Yeah.
And Mean Girls has Halloween.
Does it? Well, Scream has Halloween as well.
Yeah.
Mean Girls would be an interesting one.
Yeah. I think that's too good a film.
For sure.
To put into this.
We'll work out how we're...
No, that sounds derogatory towards our seasons. Sometimes we'll say that's too good to go into this one.
But
it's like the essence of the movie is not that.
It's not conveyed through that season.
Yeah, sure.
You want to avoid that. It's a difficult process. It's not. We don't just throw these about.
Yeah, this isn't fun.
This is admin. This is important admin.
This is our job that nobody asked us to do or pays us for. Thank you.
You're lucky to be here.
Yeah, all of you listening. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Craig.
Hi, my mum. Hope you're feeling better soon.
I've not even listened to them. Or here's a good one, but again, it's not good enough. This list isn't good enough for it.
Yeah.
The Green Mile.
Oh.
They watch Top Hat.
Oh.
They have like a movie afternoon or whatever.
Okay.
But that film, just thinking about that film could make me cry.
I was thinking about a tearjerker season.
Oh my god. Like
a proper this will.
Well, another one. Oh no, that's for a different.
Yeah.
For later on.
Yeah. So one of the things we've missed out on here. Well, there's two things actually. So going from a thread from earlier, the sort of the filmmakers the auteurs and who sort of reference the films they like and stuff. There's a couple of ones where it's about that love of the cinema as a concept, and specifically like film as opposed to video, the analog stuff. But there's Hugo, and they watch A Trip to the Moon.
Oh, the one about the little boy?
Yeah. The Martin Scorsese one of the first 3D, big 3D films. And they sort of smuggle themselves into a cinema to watch it. And the Cinema Paradiso.
Yeah, I saw that one.
This is an unbelievably beautiful, lovely film.
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Yeah. Do you know what I always used to get it muddled up with?
Guest House Paradiso.
Yeah, which is the bottom movie.
Let's write down how to do that one. Guest House. I reckon that'd be funny.
I think it's like movies that you thought was something else.
Yeah, movies that you thought was something else.
Yeah. I remember going to a sleepover when I must have been 10. We were still at primary school, but we were like old enough to be going to a sleepover. And her mum went and got us some videos out for us all to watch. And we were like, oh, we want something scary. She got us Dead Man Walking. We were like, it's just like, this is so boring. But it's like, I feel like now I probably would be quite into it.
Yeah.
But at the time we were just like,
what is it?
We wanted something like, I don't know, Carrie or whatever.
Yeah.
I did not want Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, cinema.
So I feel like that mom was like, I thought this was something else.
Yeah. Dead Man Walking. Is that Shane Medford?
It's got Susan Sarandon in it.
Oh no, I think it's something else. Okay.
It's about like I assume a guy on death row.
Oh right. Yeah.
We didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't even watch it?
No.
Oh.
Just we got about 2 scenes in and we were like,
it sounds like the sort of film that
boring.
we'd watch in RE for a bit. Films you'd watch in RE, I think, is really good.
We didn't get to watch any films. They weren't Catholic enough.
Well, yeah.
No movie was Catholic enough. Or movies that you would watch in English lit.
Or yeah. I mean, there's 2 categories, I think.
Yeah.
There's also Spirit of the Beehive.
I don't know that one.
It's a film about a girl who gets obsessed with the watching Frankenstein, like 30s Frankenstein.
Okay.
I think they're both by the same director.
Mm.
Maybe not. But they're both. I think they're both Italian films from the 70s, 80s. They're both beautiful. So that sort of puts a little bit of sprinkling on top. And then
what I will say is, I discounted any movie where I was like, the movie they're referencing sounds really boring.
Oh, really? Did you? Well, then I'll turn this on its head then.
No, tell me your
tell
me your boring picks.
Okay, you're gonna eat your words. Life Animated, the documentary about the child who's got autism who learns to speak through
really
Disney films.
Cute. Yeah.
I know it's sort of.
But can we count that in here? I don't know. But it is a movie.
It is a movie.
Talk about movies a lot.
He watches
really
movies.
Such a sweet film.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think that's everything I've got on my list. Oh, there's 500 Days of Summer. They mentioned as Graduate.
Yeah, they go and see it at the cinema, I think. I've got Clueless. They watch Spartacus.
Oh.
When she thinks she's on a date, but he's gay. Sharon Christian.
Yeah.
These are ones that I looked up then. I Am Legend. He watches Shrek.
Does he?
Yeah. What else have we not mentioned? 10 Cloverfield Lane. They watch Pretty in Pink, which I feel like is a film that we could watch. Away We Go. They watch The Sound of Music.
No.
Yeah. Away We Go is a great movie. Have you seen it?
Is that
John Krasinski and Maya Rudolph?
They go travelling or something.
They get pregnant.
I don't think I have seen it.
And I think she's a bit like, I don't know if I want this baby.
Right.
And yeah, they do travel.
Just the one he was filming when he had the
weird hair.
Yeah.
When he had...
Did you hear the story about that?
What?
Where he went, I want to film wearing a wig.
Uh-huh.
And they went, no, your hair, we can't film with a wig. It just won't look right. And he went, he took it off. He's been wearing it the whole time.
Yeah. Even though it's really obvious that his hair looks really weird.
Yeah. So in hindsight, yeah. So it's not. Yeah.
And Baby Driver.
Oh, of course.
He watches a lot of movies, but Scarface is one of them, which I was like, probably should watch that. Not seen it.
Really?
Nope. And in Deadpool 2, he watches Yentl, which is probably one of my secret favourite movies.
Okay. I will say at this point
we've got too many.
We need to narrow these down to 3.
Yeah.
What out of that list? I feel like Be Kind Rewind is a.
Be Kind Rewind, I think, has to be on there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I do think Zombieland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I've got another one. Heavenly Creatures. They watch The Third Man.
Oh yeah. That'd be one to watch.
I don't know what The Third Man is.
It's
Heavenly Creatures are freaking great.
It's set in Vienna. Third Man. It's got Orson Welles in it, and it's like a bit of one of those sort of mystery films.
Ooh. Is it like heisty?
A little, maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could be completely wrong. I have not watched it in years.
Okay.
It could be about like 2 people that go on a date and there's someone else there with them.
Yeah. Well, what about 500 Days of Summer? Since it's like in a cinema, I don't feel like will we put that anywhere else? Movies with like a good dance scene where someone's wearing headphones and no one else can hear the music is always.
So movies where
someone's dancing to music that no one else can hear.
Yeah. To music. Yeah, I think from that very reason it can't be included here.
Interesting. Okay, well, what else have we got then? What about something like Cinema Paradiso? Like a nice classic.
That suits me as the kind of film I'd like to include in this.
Okay, let's put that in there then.
Because I think all the
We've
other
got
ones
two
are
kind of fun ones. One about the process-ish, Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah. Donnie Darko's kind of used up. It's not used up. We could use it there. It's not integral. Whereas these three are like they actually are involved in the plot.
Yeah.
I mean, the other option is no. Son of Rambo's going in that emotional violence one. Yeah. Okay. Cinema Paradiso.
Great. That's the first half of the list.
Now, yeah. Okay. So of those ones,
now on to the second half. I've starred all the ones that I would like to see.
Yeah.
Hello, Dolly.
Oh yeah, it's not great.
The Blob. The Graduate. Never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it could go in a different category.
Definitely.
Top Hat. I think I have seen that because I have 2 copies of the DVD. But I would happily watch that again.
Seasons of films where you own and have never seen.
Multiple copies. The Third Man. I mean, I don't know what it's about. Blazing Saddles. I'd really like to see.
Yeah.
An Affair to Remember. I feel like it's something I should see. Pretty in Pink. I did actually go through a phase of watching. Who is he called? John somebody? Well, I watched a lot of his movies. He did Breakfast Club and all those.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah.
John, yeah.
So Pretty in Pink. I could watch that. I mean, Sound of Music. I'll always watch that.
Oh, you want to throw it away into this list?
No, come on.
Come on.
Scarface, The Jerk, and Yentl. What would you like to watch out of all those?
I think Rambo.
But we're not putting Son of Rambo in. Oh, right. Yeah.
I'd like to watch Rambo.
Yeah, I think I've seen that a long, long time ago. I don't mind a vintage Sly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know my love of Rocky.
Oh, yeah, I do. I don't know what Driving Miss Daisy is about.
Oh, it's fine.
RoboCop and the similar, but I suppose you can't really have RoboCop and Rambo in the same sort of.
Come on, you can't put that.
Boys in the Hood.
I've never seen that.
It feels like one that people say to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wouldn't pigeonhole it into something else.
I think we have to watch it first.
Isn't that funny?
To know what it
yeah.
can do. Put in An Affair to Remember, because I feel like that's one of those movies where we'll just be like, it's a classic, but we're never going to watch it.
So we could just leave it alone.
Kind of throw it into this.
Of course, Hello Dolly. I feel like the relationship between Hello Dolly and Wally evokes something else.
Do you know, I think I have seen Hello Dolly because I do recognise all the songs from it.
Yeah.
But if I've seen it, it would have been one of those Sunday afternoon movies.
It's surprisingly modern for when it was filmed. So it's Barbra Streisand, obviously. But there's all sorts of like not stop motion, but everyone stops still at points, and so there's almost like a Matrix-esque thing. Even though it was made in the 50s. It's weird. It's just very modern and choreographed in the way that a film about the 1800s would normally be.
Yeah, it's
weird.
Let's put it in there.
No, what I'm saying is I think it should go somewhere else.
Okay.
Films that are secretly situationist films is maybe.
So wait, what have we chosen? I've immediately forgotten.
Rambo and An Affair to Remember.
Yeah. What about? I mean, we could put The Jerk in there, but I mean, I'm not saying Black Hawk Down.
The Blob.
Yeah.
Comes from Greece. It has some heritage.
Grease, yeah.
Grease. I think for me, maybe The Blob, Driving Miss Daisy, or Texas Chainsaw. But I think
I'm not putting Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I think that's probably
any
going
list.
Blood, Guts and Screaming. I think.
Yeah.
Yentl. Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, we can put in.
Oh, but no, Pretty in Pink is DVDs you've never seen.
But Yentl.
No, Top Hat.
Yentl's got a lot more going for it than this category, I think.
So, all right, I'd say Pretty in Pink or The Blob.
Let's go for The Blob.
Okay. You don't want to use The Blob somewhere else?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
I love that the categories that we should watch. It's like, I'm not sure The Blob is like a seminal movie that we need to watch.
How will we understand Greece?
No, that's true, yeah.
So that's part one done.
Those two.
That's pretty good.
Two bloody seasons there.
So then,
you're welcome.
Yeah. And then let me introduce to you the third category of today, which is, we usually only do two, but those two are kind of linked. And this is movies that were, movies that the 8th billionth baby must see by the time they're dead.
Oh, God, that's... Mate, you just cursed the 8 billionth baby.
What, to die one day?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
But they might die young, I don't like that.
No, of course not. But a film... I don't really know how to interpret this. So basically, the 8th billionth baby
has been born
this week.
Yeah.
Hello, if you're listening.
If you're listening, yeah.
God, that's weird, isn't it?
Welcome to the pod.
They'd be maybe this is the first podcast they listen to that references them.
Probably.
They'll grow up knowing. That's weird, isn't it? What number were you?
I think I was 15,761.
15 million?
Mm-hmm.
I was on 15,660. So I was like the one before you.
No, there were 6 hours in between us.
I know, nothing else happened then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. But it was a case of...
Excuse me.
What films would you I don't know, need them to see to understand the world? I don't know. It was quite a weird one to interpret. How did you interpret it?
It's hard. Well, the first movie that I wrote down was Forrest Gump.
No!
Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. You put Forrest Gump as your first one? No.
I guess that's going in it.
Hasn't it? Because it gives such a good overview of
20th century.
20th century, yeah. Oh my God, are you married?
We may have to turn this podcast off in a second. I'm getting hot under a collar I'm not wearing.
Good grief, that's mad.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. When you started saying it, I was thinking she's going to say Forrest Gump. So I dug deep into this one to try and see what it was about the film that I liked for this category. So here's some possible seasons out of this. Shrimp Boat season, I think, has got to happen.
That's it. Can you think of another one?
We can find it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mother-son friendships.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
Or just something like that where I think, mother-son kind of works.
Yeah. Love your mum, do you?
Hang on. Presidential assassinations.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's... Yeah.
Well, let's go for political assassination films.
Sure.
Running films. Films about running or involving running. Like The Running Man, previously.
Yeah, does he do running?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Is it but do you mean physical running or do you mean mentally running away?
Oh, mentally running away films is a good one. Brace yourself for this one. This is the category that, as listed on IMDb, intellectually disabled protagonist. Now, it sounds like it's mildly offensive, but actually I quite like a film that kind of has autism or something at the heart of the character which gives them a complexity and sympathy. So I've already got I Am Sam and Mercury Rising, and that's
I've not seen either.
Both great films. They're mostly about autism, I think. Or no, Asperger's, quite...
I think that's just autism spectrum disorder.
I'm sure, yes. But they're quite good films, I find. Watergate season.
I couldn't name another one movie.
I'm sure there's one called Watergate.
Probably.
Yeah, it's called. What was that one? The famous one about the
Nixon
journalists.
Frost and Nixon.
Well, no. That is one. The one about the investigation itself with. God, why am I blanking on this? It's not called A Few Good Men. Bloody hell.
We'll come back to it if we ever do that season.
Fictional biography films.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that.
Tearjerkers.
Oh, God. Movies about AIDS.
Movies about AIDS.
Secretly about AIDS.
Tom Hanks movies about AIDS.
Yeah. Movies where Tom Hanks does an accent would be good.
Yeah, Tom Hanks with accent. Yeah. 20th century history. Surprisingly, there's only 2 films that have that. This and something else, which was just a documentary. Tragic comedy.
Oh, that's too broad. No way.
And then films about kindness. Now, I looked at this film list.
Be kind, rewind.
Shawshank Redemption, Terminator 2, and Highlander.
They're the 3 movies about kindness.
There were the 3 that sort of popped out of me as like, oh yeah, these are about kindness.
Terminator 2?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Interesting. Yeah, no, okay.
So...
Not like My Sister's Keeper or anything like that. I mean, is that about kindness? I don't know. She gives her organs. Right.
I don't know.
Oh my God, Never Let Me Go. What a movie. That's not about kindness either. That's about... Anyway.
What's the... let's work out the season for that. Anyway.
We already put it into Kerry Mulligan's season. We did actually watch that season.
Wait, did we... Oh, we should add that to the list. It already exists.
Well, I don't think we got a third one there.
Well, we can do that.
Okay.
We did watch that, didn't we?
We did.
Okay, so Forrest Gump.
Obviously, my second was Sound of Music.
I didn't. I presumed you wouldn't.
I mean, I'm going to put it into every category, probably.
Oh, no.
In some way. It's not going into this list. It's too good for this list.
Yeah, of course.
But it is a movie that the 8 Billionth Baby should watch, because it's a beautiful piece of film. For some reason, I then went for Dancer in the Dark.
Oh, God.
Like, that was an interesting choice from me. And then, from there, I went to Precious.
Oh.
Based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire. I think I was going for like a broad spectrum of humanity movie.
You know what? So, in a similar vein, Cool Runnings.
Interesting choice. That can't go in this. There's too many other
you
good.
Think?
Yeah, I mean, didn't we not have John Candy season for starters?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure I've probably mentioned it before. I think I thought John Candy was my dad when I was little. I think just for a little bit. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Same with Mel Smith. I thought he was my dad. Take from that what you will. So then they were the, like, for me, sort of outliers.
Yeah.
Because I then went to more like big pieces of cinema.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, sort of the ones that would spring to people's minds.
Yeah.
I think. Well, not necessarily, but The English Patient. But for me, that is one of the most tear-jerkering movies that there is.
Would that be a tearjerker movie then?
No, we can't put that in there yet.
Okay.
Even just listening to the soundtrack makes me cry.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think other people see it. Shawshank, we've already mentioned that one. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Alien?
Really?
Again, I was then going for like different genres because I then put the Blair Witch Project in there.
Wow.
Because it's a really good piece of cinema. And if you think about it, think about the cultural impact of the Blair Witch. It was like the start of mockumentary, kind of, right? People thought the Blair Witch was real when that first came out.
I know, right?
I was like, what? Now looking back, it's like, how did you think this was real?
Is there a, like, not satanic panic, but like real life panic based off of a film season or something?
Maybe.
I know. Watching it again, you think, how the hell did they? Why do people believe it? But
it was great viral.
It was viral before viral, wasn't
it? It was a viral media campaign.
I guess. You know what? I think 2001.
The movie, as in the year?
No, the year. I think that's when it came out.
Around then, probably.
Around then, that's a seminal. Obviously, it's a seminal year because 9/11. But like,
it was a strange year because the internet hadn't really properly taken off yet. Yeah. It was just getting its legs.
Yeah, and then look at it now.
Yeah. Blade Runner, big, great movie. Probably needs to go in somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because it's too good.
I think a similar vein to that rather, I've put down here, is The Truman Show.
Oh my God, me too!
What is going on?
I didn't even look at a list for these ones.
No, I didn't. These are all sort of from the heart. Well, no, sorry, that's the lie.
But The Truman Show, so I wonder if it's because it's like a piece of cinema where it's like, oh, they're doing something a little bit different. Same, I put Pulp Fiction down as well.
Oh, interesting.
Because he's playing with the story
Yeah.
And Truman Show sort of plays with the idea of the protagonist.
Well, so the Truman Show thing for me is like it. What I wanted to introduce to this experience child is this notion of like the real life as through a prism of artificiality of the media.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think that like, the spectrum of human emotion in the Truman Show is kind of
for sure. But also, everybody at some point has felt like that, and it's a strange thing because people in the past before film would never have thought to themselves, "What if everyone in my life is actually an actor and I'm in a film here?"
Do you think they were like, "What if I'm just an idea in a novel?"
Yeah.
That's
have you seen that film Stranger Than Fiction?
No. Oh, no, with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what that is.
Yeah.
But the Truman Show, I just think it, for me anyway, and I feel like for quite a lot of people, it changed it changed your psyche of like, I could be in a movie though. This could all be fake.
My feeling of that, and I think that kind of, I don't even know if it's alienation, whatever there must be a psychological name for it. My thing was like, I wonder if everyone around me is robots, and if they actually have blood or if they have red oil. And
this is where he like cuts people up and just.
So we have like a room in the house where I've experimented with people, and so far research found the technology looks very realistic.
Yeah,
but we can't be sure another way.
We can't be sure.
Now, obviously, the Truman Show is a big one. As is Forrest Gump, really. But I feel like they do fit in this category, and I quite like
because it is movies that are like, we're saying they're vital viewing.
Right? Yeah,
for this child. Yeah. You're welcome again.
I know. We can lend the DVDs as well if you want them.
I also then put Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, that's a good one.
That has to go in tearjerkers as well.
Is that going to go in tearjerkers for you?
Oh my god. Yeah. It's so... I can't watch it because it's so upsetting.
I feel like for me it's more about memories or...
Yeah, and I think that's upsetting for me.
Yeah.
That's the thing where it's like, oh my god, imagine erasing that part of your life. But when you're in that moment of like, oh, this is such a horrible thing, you want that thing to be erased.
Yeah.
But then it shows like, oh, but you don't really. So
that's a good one.
I mean, I've not been able to watch it for years because it's.
We should watch that film. Did we watch it together?
Probably. I've seen it a lot of times, but
yeah, it was great.
It's tough.
I've got 3 which you've not mentioned.
I've got a few more. But...
Avatar.
Oh, okay.
No, but hear me out. I don't think Avatar is the schmaltzy film. Not schmaltzy. It's a big commercial success, obviously. Very watchable. But I think the reason why it's so successful is because it plays on the quite like an intrinsic story of nature versus man.
Fern Gully.
That Fern Gully feeling, but in the kind of the big, the best made film version of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's and obviously it's culturally important as well.
Yeah, I feel like at this point we also need to wonder, will movies and TV still exist?
I know. I've spoken to you about this a few times, about this idea of us colonising the future with our culture now. I think there's a concept that doesn't really get discussed about much.
Interesting. You should write a paper on that.
I should. A newspaper?
No, an academic paper.
Right.
I also put Brokeback Mountain because it's such a tender love story. And it's like, oh wow. Because I was in that vein of Precious, and it's like, it's just a piece of film where it's like, oh, look at what a love story can be.
I mean, is it seminal, gay in the mainstream season?
I mean, yeah, it felt like a big movie when it first came out. I think it still is. Another one, Boyhood. That film where they filmed it for like 12 years.
Oh god, yeah, that's a good one.
It was I thought it was really good too. Like,
they're doing a
good film. I know.
What's that?
It's filming now, I think. But
I mean, obviously it would be filming now.
I mean, I'd love to watch that again. And I think it's a good film. That, again, it's just that I think I came at it from an angle of like movies that have done things for cinema and for pushing the bounds of what you can do with cinema.
Yeah, that's interesting.
'Cause if it's films that you should see,
Reduced
and it
down to
has
3.
to be about film, and what
fair.
film has done to humanity.
Well, I've got a different perspective on that in the last two, which is films about ecology or the environment. I feel like that's the upcoming kind of thing. I've got Silent Running.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
But there's no way that doesn't go into Cute Robot season.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is, I mean, not really what it's about, but sure.
But it's just impossible.
Yeah.
And if you've not seen it, my God.
Get it out at the video shop.
Go down to a video shop and get it. And then Gorillas in the Mist.
Don't know that one.
It's a film about the famous ape woman, the woman who lived.
Oh, as in
Goodall?
Jane
Goodall.
The one that was killed, like murdered? Or is that Charlotte somebody else?
I think that's someone else.
Okay, because I was just watching a documentary about her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was murdered and it's never been solved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But Jane Goodall is still alive.
Yes.
Now.
So I think it's about her.
Interesting.
Have you got any more?
Jaws. And also 7.
Is that not Teeth season?
Jaws?
Yeah.
I was sure it was Teeth season.
I mean, set as in
7.
with Kevin Spacey.
Mm.
We're allowed to watch Kevin Spacey films now.
I don't think so, but that one's just
so good, isn't it?
I mean, he's playing an evil piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, true to form, I suppose. I mean, things in boxes season.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Parcels you don't want to open season.
Yes, parcels not to open. Or just parcels season.
Yeah, sure. Postman Pat movie.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
No. God, no.
No, neither have I. Of course not.
So we've got to narrow it down to...
I think Forrest Gump and Truman Show are definitely in there.
3. Yeah.
You made a compelling case for Boyhood.
I think that out of all the ones I mentioned probably would be...
So not Avatar. That was genuine...
Yeah. Don't know.
It touches upon filmmaking, touches upon the environment. That's my pitch. I think Boyhood is more interesting to film than this necessarily dictates. But I think it does do something about universality. I mean, of course, all these are Western films, so we should probably have chosen something.
Maybe, yeah. We've been kind of... We've actually, in all our seasons, been kind of pieces of shit about that so far.
Michel Gondry is the first...
Also Western. Yeah, I mean, what we've got... Which ones? I missed. Truman Show and...
Forrest Gump.
We came up with together.
Yeah.
Was there another one that we both had?
No.
Okay. What about... I mean, Silent Running is... Oh, no, you said you wanted to go to Cute Robots.
Yeah. Your choice. Let you have whatever you want.
I mean, Avatar's not a movie that I'm fussed about.
That was the other thing.
But I think I went to see it like 3 times at the cinema.
Did you?
I definitely saw it once in normal and once in 3D.
Really?
Then I think I saw it a 3rd time after that.
Well, there's this weird thing. There's a cultural amnesia about it because it feels like everyone was like, Avatar, oh yeah, that
I feel like it's like
the
butt of a joke now.
People watched it tons of times and were really impressed by it. I don't think it's a bad film. I think people want it to be a bad film, but I don't think it is. And it's not the track. I think, I'm worried that cynicism and
of course, yeah,
it kind of just undermines so much in your opinion of what you see.
Yeah,
it's just always. I mean,
you're saying that, and literally every film we've ever been to see at the cinema, I'll be like, that was a nice movie, and I turn to you and you're like, that was the worst 3 hours of my life I've ever spent. I want my money back. That was shit.
When was that? What have I
Just
seen?
every film we've ever seen. You've always got like some big crit of
No.
it. And I imagine Avatar was the exact same. You walked out and
No,
you were like,
but there's a difference
here's
between...
all the things that were wrong with that film that I could have done better.
No, it's not that.
It's one of the greatest films of all time, and the 18 million baby should see it.
18 million. I like to talk about a film and be critical of it. It doesn't mean I don't like a film.
Yeah, but the way you say it does sound like you don't like it. And often you say, I hated that.
Oh, that's pretty good. I hated the film, though.
Uh-huh.
Which, like, can you name an example of the film?
Pitch Perfect 3.
I hated that. It wasn't good.
Actually, no, you didn't hate it. It was someone else who hated it that we went with. You were like, that was all right.
There was bits I hated.
Yeah.
It was too contrived.
Anyway, we've already talked about Pitch Perfect 3. Let's move on, for Christ's sake.
Your choice.
So where else would Boyhood go?
Films about childhood. Films about...
But Avatar could go into environmental films.
I think we find better examples for that, though, right?
Movies where people become cartoon characters.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Or like movies where people go into another world.
What? People... Yeah.
Whereas I think Boyhood is like... This is an example of cinema doing something interesting.
Okay.
But that's not what the title is. That's not what the title of the...
No, but it's what it was a loose title interpreted how you want. And I think we both... Forrest Gump and Truman Show kind of set that up. It's not a bad trio then. Probably the best season we've come up with at this point.
But I would actually want to watch this season.
Yeah. Funny enough.
Sure.
Boyhood?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, Avatar can go into movies about blue people, for example.
Movies about blue people. And just a reminder...
we know they're not humans.
Just to remind everyone, every single list we come up with now is on the website. You can go and have a look.
Maybe we should put a poll on there for people to vote on them.
We could do that. We can do it on Twitter, actually, couldn't we?
That's a good idea.
As in what to do next.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
No one will interact there. So. But more importantly...
Here's a question. Do you want me to come back on Twitter and start saying things? Now that Twitter is dying, I feel like it's time for me to come back.
My time to shine. But no, yes. Thank you for that, Marianne. That was really good.
You're welcome, Richard. Thank you.
Thank you. So we've got our 3 lists now.
We have.
I have got a human interaction pending, but I was waiting for the response before we did go into it. But I think we've done more than enough for today.
Interesting. We didn't get a question for Google.
Oh no!
We
usually have a nice question for Google, don't we?
Yeah.
Hey, what is this? No, I think that's fine. We'd leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think we've got lots of good stuff there.
Let's read.
I'd like to watch those with you.
Thanks. And good night.
Oh, with me? Or?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll watch them with
yes, you good. That's how it works. Okay, so thank you very much. If you want to get involved, you can email me3comedy@gmail.com. That's me3 with the words. And you can follow us on Twitter.
Whilst it's still here.
me3_comedy or something. Look it up. Yes, it's hard to Google. me3comedy.com. You can see all of our podcasts there. And if
on the YouTubes, there's also.
If you have ideas for another season you want us to create, if you have a little quiz for us, maybe you want to create your own with 3 films and say, how do you think these 3 are?
You want to come round and watch a season with us?
By all means.
We're always looking for people to babysit.
Very good. And also, if you want to say you should watch this film, you need to come to the season to see.
Yeah, absolutely happy to
Let's do that. Okay.
Yes, please.
Well, let's say goodbye. Thank you very much. And
goodbye.
Bye.